Junior Council 2008, where students within the municipality are here to represent councillors, agencies, and members of staff that are represented at General Council. Now, this meeting is chaired by our junior mayor, Sheffreen Bullock, and this will be her meeting, so she will be doing the hosting. We're going to have our chief admin introduce her as would normally be done in General Council.
Could I invite you to stand as we make welcome our mayor of Portmore, Madam Chairman, Sheffreen Bullock.
Welcome you all to the 2008 Junior Council meeting. Welcome. The theme is local government reform, putting government in your hands. And the major project for this council is to provide the Greater Portmore Branch Library with reference books, because students are not reading as much as they would like to because they don't have the proper materials. So we would just like to help them out by doing some books to reach a Portmore Branch Library. We will have presentations by the councillors. Councillor Campbell.
Her Worship, fellow councillors, administrators, agency representatives, media representatives, friends and observers in the gallery, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, good morning. Councillor Master is here, representing the Burton Division, and for those of you who might not be aware, this includes Port Henderson, Congreve Park, Marine Park, Burton Phase 1, 2, and 3, Old Burton, Burton Meadows, Reedspen, and Walling. I rise today to name note some of these plights of the residents in the division, which I hope will be duly and amicably addressed whether by word or deed. Her Worship, we know there are bad roads everywhere, but the potholes which reduce Dolphin and Phase 1 have now outgrown their size and are virtual craters ponds, even especially when there is rain. The residents are having a very difficult time negotiating the roadway and are now at their wits' end. We do not wish to wait until something serious or tragic happens before they are repaired, or for the citizens to resort to block the road, which will only make matters worse. So I need an answer today as I will attend the next Citizens Association meeting Sunday. And I know the matter will be on their agenda. The name Portmore has now become synonymous for mosquitoes. And notwithstanding, I'm sure my fellow councillors will agree. As well as we all have a mosquito synonyms within our division, we hope no current Victor-related outbreak will surface anytime soon. Her Worship, the area is desperately in need of fogging. Old Britain has been around for as long as I can remember, and it could seem so too. So has been the perennial concern of the residents in relation to the postal service being offered, especially that of mail delivery. The residents need to know what needs to be done in order for them to finally have their mail delivered to their homes by the postman, just like other neighboring communities. For years, they have been traveling and still continue to travel back and forth in the rain or shine to post to the post office. It is a civilized time now, and they more than deserve a chance. Can you imagine a poor old lady who's suffering from arthritis and can't even move as humble as she used to? Sure, she doesn't mean going once per month to collect her pension, but then she also has to go to the park to collect her bills. Anything else that may be sent to her. Poor soul, she doesn't even know what we call an email, since she always thought a mail was because a mail can't be a she. Her writing. The citizens need to know if you can use your influence and appeal to the Postmaster General on their behalf in order to have their matter addressed. The car washing on the Brighton Main Road, adjacent to the Brighton Primary and Junior High School, still continues to be a non-sense to and potential danger to the pedestrians, especially to the students in the neighboring schools, since they barely have access to the sidewalk and have to be walking in the road. Individuals not only have to be put up with risk of being hit by a motor vehicle, whether one passing or bursting out of the roadside garage, but also the daily build-up of slush and flooding, as well as the verbal abuse sometimes meet out to the females, particular as they traverse to their door. Generally speaking, Her Worship, the citizens of Brighton Division, I am sure the entire municipality would like to know the council's position on the status of the following. 1. The proposed hospital to be built for Portmore residents. 2. An established market both for vendors and consumers. 3. A second fire station. 4. Street vending, especially now that the Christmas season is approaching and persons are trying a thing in order to be able to have some money. And 5. Will there be any special Christmas projects for the municipal? I rest my case and I thank you all for your patience and cooperation.
From the Ayrshire Division.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha Williams. I'm representing the Ayrshire Division. Your Worship, I have a very pressing issue to take up with the National Water Commission. It concerns the deplorable state of the Greater Portmore sewage treatment plant. And I also want to address the blockage of Portmore sewage treatment, of community to the sewage treatment plant at the bottom of 2 West, adjacent to the Greater Portmore High School. The sewage and the drainage system are major health hazards and complete eyesores to members of the immediate community. The sewage plant and the drain continue to severely deteriorate, due mainly to extremely high growth of urban population and the poor maintenance of these systems. The deterioration has had a significant impact on the health and social welfare of the citizens living in 2 West and 2 East and 2 West of 5 West community of Greater Portmore. Your Worship and the other members of the Council, I cannot stress enough that these 2 issues are imminent health risk to my constituents living in the vicinity. May I say, I do not only have a political issue in this matter, I am also affected resident who is concerned about the physical and social well-being of my family and fellow residents. So, Your Worship, I beg that you bear with me. It is that my presentation seems impassioned. The sewage plant. The sewage plant treatment was built in the 90s with the objective of purifying the sewage to an acceptable standards. However, I now have the question, what is exactly acceptable? My office has been bombarded by complaints of residents who can no longer bear the stench from the sewage that greets them morning, noon, and night. Dare I say, Your Worship, that I am in no way exaggerating. The residents have complained bitterly that they are hardly able to eat in their own homes. As most times, their cerebral glands are not stimulated by the meals they work so hard to prepare for themselves and their families, but instead by the brewing filth that cannot be brought to an acceptable standard, because the sewage plant is neither being properly maintained or adequately upgraded. They have gone as far as to confess that their family time has been intruded upon by the unwelcome guests, because each member of the household eats while on the road so that they can settle their stomachs before reaching home. Not only that, Your Worship, but can you imagine that the residents who proudly gather in the boiling sun in extremely long time at the National Arena, waiting to pay their hard-earned money for their slice of comfort, ironically cannot live in comfort? Your Worship, a home is the greatest asset that a person can hope to attain. It epitomizes comfort and adds to our social mobility. Why is it then that my constituents cannot today proudly invite their friends to their homes and sit to dine and enjoy the beautiful Sunshine City? Why is the NCW due to its inability to properly carry out its mandate, crippling my constituents' social mobility? Are my constituents deserving a more serene life? Added to the social complaints, the members of my community are ailing. They are now suffering respiratory problems, sinus infections, and other infectious diseases. My investigation has revealed that the improper maintenance of sewage system does not only perfume their air in the community, it also adds to the drainage problem. The overflow of the waste from the mishandled sewage plant serves a significant purpose. Yes, the sewage-rich overflowing nutrient enters the drain where there are for the most of draining for excess water, aids to the growth of lilies. This then further hampers the runoff of water. Hence, the stagnant water helps in breeding mosquitoes. A member of my constituents the other day told me that there is so much lilies in the drain it could consider in helping the production of ethanol. The drains need to be clean. They are blocked with debris, garbage, and other of the refuse. Whenever it rains, the blocked drains overflow and the residents become marooned in their homes. My residents deserve a better standard of life. The drains should be properly cleaned and maintained. If we clean the drains, then we do not need to fumigate as often as we do. There will be less stagnant water, hence less breeding growth for mosquitoes. Suggestions. There have been suggestions to pave the entire drainage system, but that would be both a waste of resources as well as a problem to the environment. It is too costly to pave as it would take a great quantity of cement, and we know how expensive it is to purchase cement. Added to that, we have to consider the aquifers, as most of our water comes from underground wells. Hence, the agencies must do their jobs. The sewage plants need to be upgraded to facilitate the growing communities. Also, there should be constant maintenance of the plant. This is due to the residents because they are charged with the service, so why are they not receiving what they paid for? The drains need to be cleaned, and not only during the hurricane season or after the hurricane has struck. The cleaning needs to be done on a more regular basis. If the drains are cleaned constantly, then it will be less costly on us to clean the major pile-ups of debris and overgrown lilies. Finally, I am in no way claiming total innocence of my constituents. They too have a responsibility to ensure that their drains are kept clean. They should be educated on the dangers of growing garbage in the drains. The awareness may lead to a change in their behavior as it concerns the disposal of their domestic refuse. I hope that through this there will be a reduction in the health production that exists in the Greater Portmore area. I thank you.
Distinguished guests in the gallery, representatives from the agencies, administrative staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Councillor Kashane Roberts of the Greater Portmore East Division, and as a councillor, I have done my research and observed numerous problems in my division. I have also noticed that some of these problems are like a chain. One leads to another. Some of these problems include selling illegal drugs, high dropout rates of children from high school, especially girls because of pregnancy, house breaking, kidnapping, potholes, blocked drains, mosquito infestation, abduction of children, garbage piled up on the street, the need for a pedestrian crossing, and unemployment. For the abduction of children, I am asking for more frequent police patrols in my division, especially at dismissal at the schools. The road leading to the Kensington Basic and Primary School is in a dire need of a pedestrian crossing. This is really a sore point for me. I am very concerned about our children. We have a lot of reckless drivers out there. So people, please give this matter some urgent attention. The drains need to be cleaned and maintained to stem the breeding of mosquitoes. We can't open our houses after 6 p.m. In my division, unemployment has caused numerous problems. So I intend to tackle this problem. Now, unemployed, as described by the Oxford English Dictionary, means without a paid job, but very much available to work. It is with this in mind, I think that so many of our youths in my area sit idly by, wasting their days without a paid job, but very much available to work. Daily, I see our young people either sitting on the street corners, resorting to criminal activities, such as selling, smuggling illegal substances, drugs to survive. Many people in my division are unemployed, causing them to live in such great poverty. Their dependence in so many cases is for the government or others to give the handouts, such as housing, food, money, etc. We cannot continue this trend. How are we to stem the crime and violence that is eating at the very fiber of our country. If its youth and so many others are unable to find a better way out of their situation, more emphasis must be placed on getting the unemployed in my division employed. There's an old saying, feed a man a fish, you'll feed him for the moment. Teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. When a man can see the fruits of his labor, he is better able to realize his self-worth. And let us not forget, having people employed and motivated not only helps that individual, but the country as a whole. I am begging the necessary authority to build skills training center to assist the youth. I do not have enough money in my allocation, so I am making a request to the council to assist with this project so that we can get our young people to learn some skills. Please assist the residents of the Greater Portmore East Division to return to their normal lives. I thank you.
Our worship, fellow councillors, business house representative, a pleasant morning. As representative of the Bridgeport Division, I am presenting the issues that are affecting the residents of the division. This is common knowledge that matters of concern are always present with us, and to be able to address them all would be overbearing. In the Bridgeport Division, notice has been taken of several matters that needs to be dealt with urgently. The sewage system in Bridgeport. As a resident of this division for many years and as a councillor for approximately 10 years, the matter of the sewage system has been a burning issue for this length of time. The citizens of Bridgeport are quite aware that for 6 months only of each year, they will have a little peace in their community and homes. Whenever it rains, they can prepare to have their toilets choking and roads filled with sewage water. Every manhole on every street in Bridgeport experience the lifting of the lids, and the residents have to contend the awful stench and germy water that runs in the street. We are concerned that this poses a health hazard to all, especially the children. To make matters worse, the school that falls under my jurisdiction suffers immensely as this murky water flows through the compound. Again, the children of the community who are students at the school are put at risk. Whenever the NWC works along Germain Road in the vicinity of the school, we are bound to experience discomfort. Madam Chairman, I think it is about time this matter of concern be rectified and allow us to enjoy our own. Everyone knows that rain will cause growth in the green areas, but there is an undue delay in the bushing of these open areas. You take a walk down the Garvey community, and especially along Germain Road, in the vicinity of Kent's Wildflower, Cricket Pit. It is estimated that no one under 6 feet traveling along that road will be able to see on either side. Madam Chairman, we are all aware of what is happening in our society with the safety of everyone, especially our children. The overgrowth needs attention now. Isn't it known that the children of the community ply this route to and from school? The bush is one factor, but the lack of streetlights is an even greater factor. Are we just going to sit and wait for something drastic to happen before we take action? The deterioration of garbage collection in the community is alarming. When garbage cannot be collected on a regular basis, eventually the entire community will break down in diseases. The residents have grown accustomed to their garbage being collected twice per week. However, under this administration, we have seen collection reduced to once per week and to date, once or twice per month. I am calling on the NSWA to pull up their socks.
Yes.
We pay our taxes, so we expect our garbage to be collected at least twice per week.
Yes, that is true then.
In closing, I cannot understand, for the love of me, why the NWC continues to come in and dig up our roads and turn a blind eye. Examples of these roads are Eberly Drive, Germain Road, Enfield Avenue, Getz Avenue, and others. The residents of this division have entrusted me with the responsibility of representing them at this level, and I, Councillor Gibbons, intend to do so. It is now the mandate of the Council to act with the residents to heart. Thank you.
It's indeed an honor to stand before you and represent the dynamic division of River Park. You will agree with me that as a country we are faced with numerous problems, whether financial or social. Such experiences are filtered through the division. As you traverse from corner to corner and interact with different youths, you will hear that they need help. I always encourage my people to hold firm and be patient because better will come in the future. There are a number of key issues that are affecting the division, as to which I will draw your attention. Your worship, as you know, Rugby Park is not heaven, and as such, we encounter a lot of bad roads. When you are traveling onto Dennis Avenue, Queens Park Avenue, Shields Drive into Portmore Villas, and Walkers Avenue, the roads are in a deplorable condition. Your worship, I would like to know when these roads will be fixed. Another issue, your worship, is when passing in the evening at the Rugby Park Primary School, especially when it rains. The students who go to the Spanish Town area do not have a bus stop. In that area. We ought not to wait until somebody dies through an accident to deal with it. Therefore, I am asking the NWA to act assiduously to correct and repair these deficiencies. Another concern is the crime. As servants of the people, the police officers and I will have to meet and discuss how we can further extinguish the flames of crime that would want to consume our communities. We have to start with more social intervention programs, especially for the young boys in the communities. We have to include the churches, the schools, and other organizations so that our young boys can develop into worthwhile and outstanding citizens. I thank you.
Protocol observed, Your Worship. I rise to inform you of the problems faced by the communities in the Westchester Division. I am Trishana Curtis representing Cumberland Meadows, Portmore Lane, Independence City, and parts of Passage Fort. It is quite a while that I have heard reports of robberies and bad roads are being talked about. Let's take for example, a second form student was coming to school and he walked at the back of the school because it was the quickest and easiest way to get inside. The criminals were hiding in bushes. As the student walked in, they pulled out their knives and demanded his lunch money and cell phone. When the student gave them the phone, they used it to hit him and told him to buy a better phone. Another example of a student being held up was a boy who refused to hand over his phone to the robbers and was beaten and left with a bloody nose and a swollen cheek. The students of Cumberland are being robbed by criminals from surrounding communities. The bushes which surrounded the school allowed them to pursue their evil deeds. As a result of my hard work as a counselor, the bushes are being cleared so that it is safer for the school surrounding. I would like to thank the prison institution for the consistent help in clearing of the bushes. Now I can stay inside the school and see straight across the road. For members of the communities, it is not safe. Some street lights are not working, so the criminals can easily attack people in the night. I am asking to you, your worship, to the minister for increasing in the number of street lights in my division. We need to see the police patrolling these communities once more. The roadways which we have to travel on day by day are in bad conditions. With all the potholes on the road, people who walk on the sidewalk get splashed with filthy water. Vehicles are also being damaged by these bad roads. I'm appealing to the respective minister to assist my division in repairing of the roadways. This was a speech which I spent time on making grammatically correct, though it might have been grammatically faulty. Those problems are what we face, so I passionately ask for help from the respective ministers. We need to live and feel secure as Jamaicans. I am Trishana Ferris, the Junior Council, representing the Westchester Division. God bless you to you all.
Her Worship the Mayor, Members of Parliament, Councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Danielle McLean, the Junior Councillor of the Waterford Division. I must inform you that in my division we have a grave issue, but which is taken lightly. That is the disposal and removal of garbage. From observation and complaints of the citizens of the Waterford Division, garbage collection has been a continuous problem which appears to go unnoticed by the relevant authority. Today, I need to put an end to this, primarily because it is a health hazard just to have foul smell in our environment. It's a breeding ground for rodents and undesirable insects. And soon, this will lead to an epidemic. Presently, there are small outbreaks of malaria. If the problem is to be solved, then citizens must be re-educated, and I emphasize re-educated on the importance of having a healthy community, and garbage must be collected on time and regularly. Councillors, if our human resources are to be protected, then we are to take the right step now at the right time. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, representatives of the agencies, fellow councillors, media representatives, invitees and guests in the gallery, good morning. I truly do believe that the people of my division have suffered quite enough. Their plight is the poor drainage infrastructure which causes the roads to be easily flooded. Most times, the water is so high that a grade 1 student at a primary school would be completely covered if he or she were to stand in it. The water then settles on the surface of the road and seeps through the asphalt, resulting in what I would call manholes. In the same breath, if the roads were properly constructed and not hurried on, then we wouldn't be experiencing so many potholes. Note 2, along with water comes mosquitoes. Having been speaking with some of the residents in my division, many of the complaints I receive is about mosquitoes. Their cry is that whenever they invite or have relatives visiting from abroad, the mosquitoes seize the opportunity to visit too. Note carefully that this problem is not only as a result of poorly surfaced roads, but poor drainage facilities. Now imagine our future city of Portmore, more so the Independent City Division, plagued not only by massive potholes, but also by the possibility of young vipers. These vipers are our good old mosquitoes. We all know them to be the agents of the horrible malaria and dengue fever. So please, let us not even think about encouraging breeding grounds for them. So, Madam Chairperson, with that said, I am willing to assist you to assist me. I am willing to host a fish fry or even a massive barbecue coupled with a fraction of my allocation as an esteemed councillor to start the work on our drainage facilities. I feel saddened within my heart when residents outpour their cries about flooded roads and huge potholes, and I am not able to provide reassuring feedback. Motorists who have consistently complained about fixing their front end fortnightly for smoother rides continue to experience bumpy rides. Note though that I have seen road repair done on Augusta Drive and part of Portmore Drive. However, on Hellshire Drive, a known parochial road, will give any motorist a true hill and gully ride experience. My dear council, if you won't do it for me, do it for the residents of this great soon-to-be city. Make the Independent City Division more accommodating and road-friendly once more. Thank you.
Council for the Nagahead Division.
Honorable councillors and distinguished members of the public, a pleasant good day to you. I must bring to the attention of all of us in council today some challenges that are being faced by constituents of the Nagahead Division. The recent spate of gun crimes affecting the division has somewhat been reduced, but we still have several areas of concern. Shrubbery in and around the community is providing safe haven for criminals to prey on residents of the community. We need to get rid of the overgrowth of bushes, especially along the Newland Road. At last year's council meeting, I mentioned that the drains running along the Newland to Nagahead corridor need special attention. Up to this present time, nothing has been done to alleviate the problem. Whereas the problem of overgrown bushes exists, be it resolved that prisoners serving time in our correctional institutions be put to hard labor to clear the above-mentioned area of the overgrowth and to clean drains under the strictest supervision of officers from the aforementioned institutions. In recent weeks, heavy rainfall has caused drains in the area to be flooded, sometimes even spilling over on the roadways and threatening residents, houses, and even their lives. When the water subsided, there was a deluge of plastic bottles and scandal bags. Honorable council members, this cannot be allowed to continue. I propose that council set aside funds to establish a recycling company where persons would be paid a specific amount based on the bottles collected and brought to the factory. The recycling company would then process the intake by sterilizing the bottles, shred and resell the shredded plastic to companies who use bottles to market their products. Funds garnered from this venture could fund other projects being pursued by council. Whereas the plastic bottles have been polluting the environment and has been a constant nuisance in the blocking of drains, be it resolved that plans be made with immediate effect to set up a recycling factory to rid the environment of unwanted plastic bottles. We are all in one accord when we state that we believe the children are our future. As such, students need to feel comfortable in their institutions of learning. Many students are forced to learn where the chronic lack of resources in the school is a deterrent to their education. Vandalism of schools has become a widespread problem. Even the prestigious Nagahead Primary School suffered at the hands of vandals in recent months. Whereas schools are being vandalized by ambitionless hoodlums, thus making it uncomfortable and unsafe for students and teachers. Be it resolved that municipal police patrols be utilized from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. to monitor areas in which there are schools, and also that sponsored public education messages be placed on billboards promoting civic pride. Honorable members of council, please give the above mentioned points due consideration. Thank you.
Councilor from the District Portmore North Division.
Her Worship the Mayor, Sheffield Bullock. Junior Mayor, my fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Javed Dawkins. I am a grade 6 student at the Ascot Primary School. I was born in Greater Portmore in the year 1997 and I am presently residing in 2 North. As a councillor of this division, I would like to bring to your attention some of the many factors that are affecting the people. The 2 main factors that I would like to address are infestations of mosquitoes and the lack of recreational facilities for children. As a child growing up in this division, I have always been annoyed by the many mosquito bites. There is a great need for this problem to be dealt with. The continuous biting from these pests can cause people to suffer from malaria, typhoid fever, as well as other diseases arising from their breeding grounds. These diseases are considered dangerous as they are life-threatening. Your Worship, I beg of you to take this problem seriously. Try to make an effort to eradicate these pests. Remember, Your Worship, human resources are extremely important to our Sunshine City. As mentioned earlier in my speech, lack of recreational facilities for children is of great concern. Children, it is said all day work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I have also learned that play is an important part of a child's life. Looking around in this division, there are no parks, no form of entertainment for children. Tell me, Your Worship, where do we play? I would like to see a park where families can go and watch their children play and even to play with them. On behalf of the children of this division, I beg of you to listen to our cries and help us to enjoy our childhood. Thank you.
Now we have a councillor from the Edgewater Division.
Good day, Your Worship, and members of Parliament, and ladies and gentlemen. As a councillor for the Edgewater Division, I would like to address some issues. Firstly, in the Portmore Primary School, there is a canal behind the Portmore Primary School, and whenever the rain falls, there is a terrible stench that arises from that canal. The stench is unbearable, and it badly affects the students of the school. Asthmatic students often get attacks from that smell, and it is very traumatic. The canal has stagnant water, and I'm sure it wasn't made for that purpose. Mosquito infestation is the main issue, and I am positive that the canal is the source of that problem. Many students from the Portsmouth Primary School have been badly affected by bronchopneumonia, sinusitis, and other illnesses caused by the mosquitoes. This problem is very overbearing, not only in the Portsmouth Primary School, but it also affects the members of the Portsmouth community. I would like to see that this problem be sorted out. Thirdly, I would like to address the untimely collection of garbage. Collectors do not come until 3 weeks' time to collect garbage in the community. I think that this should be done every week instead of 3 weeks. With this said, I am hoping that the National Solid Waste Corporation will address this matter urgently. Fourthly, the Passage Fort intersection has a stoplight system which is doing very well. However, the light indicators for the pedestrians at the pedestrian crossing do not work. May I remind you that many children cross at that pedestrian crossing, yet they cannot safely cross because the walk light does not work. Children depend on the light indicators to tell them when to and when not to cross. Therefore, they still have difficulties crossing the road. So, I would like for the council to address the situation before a child dies of this carelessness. Finally, I am very pleased with the Safe School program. However, there is need for improvement. As we are well aware, parents are frightened of the uprise in abduction of children. So, I would like to see more frequent patrolling of police others in my division. With the police present, the perpetrators will be kept at bay. This I am bringing to the attention of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. My name is Rachel Smith, Councillor for the Edgewater Division, and I thank you.
Other members from agencies, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, morning to you all. My name is Juna Leachman, and I am representing the Public Health Department. Pardon me? Juna Leachman, sorry. The Public Health Department of the Portmore Municipal Council is working tirelessly to ensure that all its citizens in the community of Portmore stays healthy. As for the saying goes, a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. For the year 2008 to 2009, we will continue to structure effective and efficient means of protecting the people of Portmore from any outbreaks of diseases and any other health hazards that may occur. The heavy downpour of rain in the last few months has brought an increase in the breeding of mosquitoes in various communities, such as the Waterford, Brayton, and Bridgeport, just to name a few of the divisions. Our team has been working assiduously to have all the communities fogged, mentioned above, in the shortest possible time so as to stem any outbreaks of infectious diseases, such as malaria, as was mentioned earlier by one of the councillors from the Greater Portmore Division and some other divisions, and dengue. The Public Health Department is working with other governmental agencies such as the National Solid Waste Management Authority and the National Water Commission to ensure that our environment remains clean. The collection of garbage by the agency with that responsibility will assist in the eradication of rodents infestation, as was mentioned earlier by some various councillors from the divisions. The Public Health Department is also working closely with the National Water Commission to make sure that all its sewage treatment plants are working effectively. We would not want any sewer tank to leak or overflow, because that would create trouble for us as citizens. We at the Public Health Department we at the Health Department is very health conscious, and we take the health of every citizen very serious. We are all aware that we are in the rainy season, and we know that an outbreak can occur at any time. Therefore, we are working with the various stakeholders and government agents to ensure a smooth operation. Finally, the Public Health Department has embarked on a massive educational campaign in sensitizing the citizens. Like one, we are asking the citizens not to throw the garbage in the drain, because that will block the garbage, and that is a breeding ground for mosquitoes when the rain comes on. We're asking our citizens also to report any such activities in relation to if any citizens are throwing garbage in the drain. We're also asking the citizens to, like for their cans and so forth, if they can bore holes in them so as to, when the rain comes on, it don't containerize the water. And also, we know that if that happens, we will have an outbreak of mosquitoes, and as was mentioned earlier. And if we work together, we can minimize any outbreak of disease or any other health hazard that may occur in the community across Portmore, and we all can remain safe. Thank you.
Representative from Jamaica Public Service.
Her Worship the Mayor, councillors, staff members, members of the public, other agencies, a pleasant morning to you all. My name is Miss Patricia Bailey, and I am the representative for the Jamaica Public Service. Let me first say that it is an honor for me to be a part of this council meeting to hear the views of the citizens of Portmore. As you know, we are in the hurricane season, and there are some tips that I would elaborate on first. One, I'm asking that citizens protect your power supply by trimming trees and edges regularly and removing danger trees that could fall on JPS lines during strong winds. Contact JPS early in the season for advice with trimming or removing trees close to power lines. Have a licensed electrician check the service wire connection to your home to reduce the possibility of dislocation by heavy winds. Make sure family members know where the circuit breaker is located in your home, just in case you need to turn off the power. In case of heavy winds and severe lightning, turn off and unplug electrical equipment, especially sensitive electronics. Never touch a fallen power line or try to move it yourself if the line is still energized. And therefore, I'm encouraging citizens to take all the necessary precautions during this hurricane season, as it is around this time that individuals lost their lives. I'm asking that customers of JPS report any emergencies to the police or call the JPS Customer Service Department at 1888 call JPS. As it relates to street light installation, residents need to relate the necessary information to the parish council, who will in turn inform us. The Jamaica Public Service is determined to change lives, and one way in which we plan to do this is to participate in community outreach and attend any citizen association meeting if requested. All this can be done through our community relations department. Note that if there is any project going on in this area, JPS is willing to come on board, but you must first contact the community relations department. There is also the science fair that the various high school and primary schools in Portmore participate in, known as the JPS Science and Technology Expo. We also have put plans in place to have an annual customer awareness and appreciation day where customers can come into our office and voice their concerns. As it relates to the problems, the major problems that we face during this period is that of electricity theft, and ask that anyone who indulges in this activity to desist from doing so, as this is a serious crime and could result in spending time or paying a fine. Therefore, I'm encouraging anyone who is a part of this activity to come in and talk to us so that we can get you connected the right way. At this time, there are no major projects going on, but we will continue to change lives as we are doing everything in our power to enhance the services that we offer and to cut back on costs. However, customers should be reminded that your bill is influenced by a number of factors that you have no control over, such as the rising cost of fuel used to generate the electricity you use, inflation, and movements in the foreign exchange rate. And that is why we appeal to our customer to take charge of the element you have control over, your usage. This can be done if you follow some simple tips, such as take all that you need from the refrigerator at once and do not put anything in the refrigerator. Turn off all lights when leaving the house or install photocells. Turn off appliances when not in use. And I guarantee you that if you follow these steps, you will see some changes in your bills. If there is any other business, you can visit our office in the Portmore Mall next door to Single, or you can go online to www.jpsco.com. I thank you.
With all due respect, Your Worship, I'd like to know your response to the council's concerns.
Which council in particular are you referring to?
All of them. I'd like to know your concern. I'd like to know your response about the council's concerns.
Yes, they are all very genuine concerns, and I will try my best to address all of them.
Members of the audience and agents, I stand before you this morning representing the Jamaica Fire Brigade Portmore Division. My name is Shauna Hamilton and I am from Portmore County. Presently at the Portmore Fire Station, there are 2 fire units. We have responded to 660 calls during the period of January to October of this year. Our response time has been fairly consistent. Also, there was an inspection of building that was carried out where we inspected the structural safety of buildings in the private and public sector and schools, checking for cracks in the wall, partition of building, no faults in the wall, organizational safety, checking for adequate exit from building, check for equipment and clearance of passage, fire extinguisher, alarm, and smoke detectors. A survey of fire hydrant inspection of Portmore was done. Here I will give you a brief report of some of the fire hydrant inspection in Portmore, just to name a few. Location in the Portmore Division where we went for inspection, Bridgeview, good. There was 10 still working fire hydrant in Bridgeview Division. There were only 2 wasn't working. Hellshire Park, 10 working and 2 not working, a total of 12. A report was given to the council office where I expect that a copy was given to each division. Presently, there is an ongoing community fire safety program where we have a house-to-house visit in each community. This program was first launched in Kingston on July the 22nd, 2008, and is continuous throughout the Jamaica. We realized that not many persons in Jamaica was aware of fire safety. Therefore, we went on a house-to-house visit where we gave out pamphlets and advice on fire safety. We were invited to citizen association, communities group, churches, where we went further with demonstration and more information. In the month of October to November of this year, we celebrated fire safety awareness. During this week of October the 26th to November the 1st, we had exhibition at the Portmore Mall where various school and citizens were in attendance. During this week, we expressed our views about fire suppression, code enforcement, and public education activities of the organization are highlighted and increased. The theme for this year was again celebrated as awareness the key to a fire safety community. The theme is being repeated because it has been adopted as the slogan for the Brigades Community Fire Safety Program that was launched in July of this year. Over the next 3 years, the program will seek to increase public awareness about the risk and safety of how to minimize fire in homes and public places if there is a fire breakout. We believe that the more the public is fire aware, there will be a reduce in unwanted fire. Also, lack of knowledge or inappropriate behavior will change because the properly planned and resource fire safety campaigns such as this one we have embarked upon. So let us work together. Let us heighten our vigilance for everyone in Jamaica to become fire safety aware.
The representative from PCAC.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, councillors, other agency representatives, and guests. My name is Tandika Fraser, here as a representative of the Portmore Citizens Advisory Council, otherwise known as PCAC. The PCAC is a non-political arm but has the rights of allowing persons to represent citizens of Portmore in certain clubs and associations. These persons represent the Lions Club, the Principal Association, the Greater Portmore Joint Council, the Medical Fraternity, which comprises of doctors, the Constabulary Force, the Magistrate Associates, the Council of Persons with Disabilities, the members of the Chartered Accountant of Jamaica, and the legal representatives of the Bar Association, just to name a few. In each of the organizations mentioned previously, we have placed 2 members to the following divisions in the PCAC. The divisions are Finance, Disaster Preparedness, Infrastructure and Traffic Management, Planning Development and Environment Community and Civic Areas. In all the mentioned divisions, the PCAC has all voting rights except to the division of the Finance Committee. We, however, have no voting rights at the General Council meeting. The Advisory Council has met at its usual time, and all members of the various committees have tendered their respective reports. These were thoroughly discussed, and against this background, it is our opinion that the following major issues be settled. The drain cleaning program in Portmore, in our opinion, needs to be more evident, bearing in mind we are in the hurricane and rainy season. We, based on committee reports, see that the sewage and disposal situation has existed and needs to be immediately tackled, and we therefore implore your intervention to bring sanity to this matter. Coming September 2009, the Finance Council will be extremely critical as we will be removed from the government's books and will have to be earning income on our own. It is therefore of absolute importance that our immediate planning be put to regeneration and also to acquire the required income to fill the gap of our expectations towards the citizens. The PCAC finds itself with an aim to settle issues as it is our first and foremost prospectus. We are here for the citizens of Portmore and operate to their satisfaction and liking. As a non-political body, our duty hence is to ensure that the Portmore citizens' interests are met and maintained, and therefore our duty to make reports on anything that is needed by the citizens. Saying this, we took the liberty in requesting the Citizen Complaint Register, where all related issues by citizens are recorded, and by requesting this report, we will be making sure that the citizens' major complaints are looked about and are fulfilled as 100%. At the last meeting, we had a discussion on crime and violence and paid keen interest to the kidnapping of young children, particularly females. Having discussed the matter, it is in our opinion that this body set up a strong committee to help resolve this problem. Now it has become to be a major issue in Portmore and is one that needs to be addressed. Among the issues highlighted in this report, I, however, must take time out to extend thanks on behalf of the people of Portmore on the interest taken in having the vegetation flourish and be taken care of, and also the now positive works being done to help each citizen of Portmore. However, as related to previously, it is a concern to me as to the reasons why the drains aren't being cleaned, what plans are made for the council to earn income for our own development when it is removed from the government's budget. To conclude, Portmore and its citizens need the best interest from those in charge. We as leaders need to focus and fulfill our duties so to give Portmore and its citizens a certainty of our works and the mere fact that we are in charge and want the best for our people. I thank you.
Fellow members of the council and other guests and representatives. I'm here to talk about, I'm a representative, Napier Chow, from the National Solid Waste Management Authority. This end up otherwise known as the NSWMA. It was established under the National Solid Waste Management Act of 2001 as a statutory body to manage the collection, treatment, and disposal of solid waste island-wide. The authority is governed by a board of directors appointed by the Ministry of Local Government and Environment. I have heard concerns expressed by the council members, such as the council from Bridgeport, about the time which the garbage is collected. And there are a number of factors which have hindered us collecting it on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, such as the price of oil and the lack of money to service our trucks and other factors. Well, we have concerns also about the citizens and how where and how they dispose of their garbage. So we would like to ask you here to use our influence in how they dispose of their garbage. Our mission statement is efficient and effective collection, disposal, and management of solid waste while promoting behavioral change through public education. And we have recently started a campaign to educate the citizens who are in island-wide about the solid waste management and what it is all about, what's our role and functions. We launched this campaign in September of this year, and we aim to share with the citizens what responsibilities the NSWMA has to them, such as establishing the standards and criteria that must be attained by operating in solid waste sector, licensing of solid waste companies, collection vehicles, and disposal site operators, contracting solid waste collectors for municipal garbage collection, and establishing collection zones in collaboration with the parish council and the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. We have also, we however are aware of the problems addressed to the fact of garbage collection, and are hereby stating that we will work tirelessly to help out with your issues. I thank you.
Representative, Joint Constabulary Force.
Good morning, Madam Worship the Mayor, Councils, and fellow agencies. I am Superintendent Simone Lakers of the St. Catherine South Division. The division was commanded by Superintendent Terrence Bent for the year 2007-2008. 3 Deputy Superintendents, 1 Acting Deputy Superintendent, and 1 Island Special Constabulary Commander. The division is divided into 7 police areas: the Greater Portmore Station and Divisional Headquarters, Central Village Police Station, Bridgeport Police Station, Cape Manors Police Station, Waterford Police Station, Old Harbour Police Station, and Old Harbour Bay Police Station. The policing plan for the year 2008 to 2009 sets out the priorities for delivering efficient and effective policing service for the St. Catherine South Division. All our efforts are aimed at fighting crimes and protecting our people. In the St. Catherine South Division, the views of our members of the public, partners, agencies, key stakeholders, personnel are also taken in account as our local priorities are set. The hierarchy of the force has identified 3 strategic priorities for the fiscal year 2008 to 2009. This is an effort to ensure that everyone has a stake in delivering an effective policing service throughout our division. These strategies include criminal networks. This is making our community safer by maximizing the disruption of criminal networks through targeting their leadership, cash, and other assets, along with bringing firearm and drug offenders to justice. We will therefore seek to improve and enhance our intelligence and ability to better profile networks. Working closely with key partners agencies across the criminal justice system, delivering and implementing an anti-extortion plan. Whereas at this time, we believe that there is no identified established work network within our division, so we will therefore proactive to adopt statistics to address changes in the way they operate with regards to their weapon trading, usage of drugs, drug trading, and holding of assets. Secondly, community policing. This will see specially assigned members at the Heart of Community on a full-time basis. So to increase the level of satisfaction and confidence of the community in the way we deliver our policing service, we will thereby reducing the public fear of crime and violence by improving the method of detection, prevention, and response time. We will increase education at school, neighborhood watches, youth club, citizen association, and other interesting groups. These approaches to policing will provide communities that are safer. We will establish divisional policing partnership for all communities to ensure lectures and conferences are held to synthesize members of the community concerned. Keeping the communities informed about what we have done to address their concern. 3, general policing. To seize the level of public satisfaction with the quality of policing service, during the year 2008 to 2009, we are committed in making our communities safer, to disrupt offenders and protect our law-abiding citizens as they go about their daily routine. We will therefore delivering more frontline policing by visible patrol and greater presence in the public spaces 24 hours daily, especially in areas such as Westchester Division and Greater Portmore, and also Edgewater Division and Nagahead Division. We will establish a standard time of 10 to 15 minutes during peak to emergency calls within a kilometer radius, 10 kilometers radius. We will strictly enforce the road traffic, night noise, and environmental laws with a zero tolerance approach. The problems our division are facing: low on personnel resources. With an estimate of Portmore population of over 200, along with estimate population of communities in Central Village, Whole Harbour and Whole Harbour Bay, the approximate population within the division is 394,057 persons. The complement of persons assigned to the division is 412. Given the number of police personnel to citizens, the estimate police to citizens ratio at the time is approximately 1 to 994, which is clearly inadequate for policing the division. We are also short on resources. To increase our public satisfaction of policing, we need better equipment and human resources. For my conclusion, during the year 2008 to 2009, we will all continue to structure our strategic and initiative to ensure that police personnel efforts will continue to play an important role in the policing of our communities. To employ community-related initiatives aimed at crime prevention through public education, community participation, and involvement with the police. I thank you.
We are now at the question and answer section of this meeting. The floor is now open to the questions.
Waterford, all of your hand.
Councillor from Waterford Division.
Your Worship, may I ask the representative of the CLLR a question?
When will our problem in the Waterford Division, when will our problem with the collection of garbage in the Waterford Division be addressed?
We're currently working on that. We're currently working on that, and we are trying to acquire more trucks to facilitate the collection of garbage. We're also making repairs to our plants where we process the garbage, and we plan on educating populace of how and where to dispose of their garbage. So in these ways we will address their issues, and the people of Waterford will see results later on, but it will take time. Thank you.
That's your satisfied?
Councillor Weber Park Division.
Based on my concern as it relates to crime in my division, to our representatives from the JCF, when will it be a suitable time to meet with the JCF to discuss a strategy to stem this problem?
A conference and lecture will be shortly held where we will keep the community informed, and we will synthesize the members of the community concerns and put effort in ensuring that all your concerns are held up to date and have effective measures done to enforce these. Thank you.
Councillor from Bridgeport Division.
I am aware that the German road is now considered as a main road. I have to use this road on a regular basis. Why is it in such a deplorable condition?
National Work Agency.
NWA.
Safa, Sansa.
Sapa. Oh, a city engineer.
We have received reports of broken potholes and other. Yes, and we're working very hard with the NWA to address the issue. Really, potholes. Thank you.
Councillor from the Independent Division.
Through you, Your Worship, may I ask the representative from the city engineer, the representative from the city engineer a question? How soon will I be able to get word on the road repair in my division?
Yes, the Independent City road repairs, we have that on our agenda, but we have a few broken excavators which we are relying on to carry that project. They are being fixed, so as soon as they are fixed, I can assure you that we will be work in progress. We cannot give you a specific time in which the completion or in which to begin because of the as soon as these equipment are ready, they'll work in progress. Thank you.
Yes, this question goes to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. How soon will I have more frequent police patrols in my division?
Through you, Worship. As I have mentioned as one of our priorities, we will therefore develop a frontline policing by a visible patrol and greater presence of our policing. So I cannot give you a specific date for, as I said before, we are low on staff, we're low on resources. So sooner but no later than the coming up year, we will have in 24 hours daily, you will see a greater presence of our police personnel. Thank you.
It's being done to address the situation of the sewage and the stench that it is giving off that affects so much people. What are you doing in order to minimize this problem?
Well, Mayor, we are working closely with the Water Commission because the Water Commission and us, we liaise closely and we are working tirelessly, putting every effort so as to get the stench and also any other concern that the citizens will have in relation to the sewer tank. Thank you.
Representative, how do you plan to address the situation in the future regarding the garbage disposal and pickup that is happening in Portmore?
Madam Chair, as I said before, we are working on new facilities and improving our current facilities, and we would need more funds to purchase new trucks for garbage collection and new labor with more persons for the field of production. That's how we plan on addressing in the future the issue of garbage collection.
Are there any plans for any temporary places of disposal?
Right now we're using the current display, current places such as the Riverton or St. Catherine, Clark, the parish which is Cerebral, Clarendon, Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Catherine. And for the other parts of the island we're using the other facilities such as the Church Comer, which serves St. Thomas, Doctors Wood, which serves Portland, Tabolsky, which serves St. Anne, and Hades, which serves St. Anne and St. Mary, and Martin Hill, which serves Manchester. So we're currently using the current facilities to collect the garbage and dispose of it.
To our representative from the Public Health Department, can you give us a time and schedule as to when the mosquito eradication will begin?
To the council from the Greater Portmore North, we are currently fogging Brayton at this time, and as soon as our team is finished, we will extend the courtesy to your division.
What are the measures put in place to minimize the crimes in school and around the schools?
As I said again in my presentation, to reduce these, we will increase public education in schools, 2, enforce more neighborhood watches, 3, youth club, as in having meeting with our youth club, giving help and how to help themselves when they're in certain situations. And 3, also citizens association, bringing more partnership with the police force and the community so that we communicate better. Thank you.
The public service representative. Through you to the public service representative. I notice you said to conserve energy, but each time we conserve energy, the light bill is high. Why is this so?
To you, our worship. Like I said before, this is caused from the hike in oil price, also from inflation. However, we have now we're putting in place 2 hydro plants that will help to reduce this cost. I thank you.
When can more street lights be put up in my division?
You identify these areas that is in need of street light. You can report it to the parish council, and they will in turn refer the necessary information to us, and then we'll send our team out to do these installations. Thank you.
Platform, and we are here discussing garbage
reduction in fuel
and IPP charges despite the reduction in oil price. Why is this so?
Through you, our worship. At this present moment, like I said before, we are putting in place new hydro projects that will bring down the cost. It will enable us not to be dependent on those overseas that provide us with oil. So as soon as these projects are in place, I can assure you that you will see a decrease in your light bill. Thank you.
Recommend to the public session. Also lower the bill.
I cannot give you a specific time. However, I can get back to you on this matter. Thank you.
The councillor from the Brighton division indicated earlier that there's a car wash on the Brighton, that is becoming a nuisance to the children because they have to be in the roads and on the sidewalks. How will you help them in that case?
As soon as our personnel resources, human resources, has been developed in our divisions, we will therefore put greater presence of the police within our Bridgeport division. Thank you. Grayson division, thank you.
I would like to ask the NSWMA if the garbage are not collected, if the residents' garbage are not collected on time, what should they do with it?
Through you, your worship, they should keep it in an area away from keeping an area so the place, overall place will not become contaminated with rats or any other insects or disease. Keep it in an area where it will be preserved in a way where it will be can be collected at a later date. Containing. Thank you.
Garbage in the front yard without having these infestations. They need to be collected.
That is true, your worship, and we are working hard to address. We are working hard to address that issue, but right now the resources are limited from collecting on a regular basis.
Is there a specific place that the garbage can be stored?
No, there's not a specific place. It would be where you normally would keep it, but I'm not sure of that. I have to come back to you with that information at a later date.
Question is for you. When will this council understand that we have to put a maintenance program in place to deal with these drains instead of every year during the hurricane season we are running around like foolish virgins without a clue as to where to get funds to address these problems? And in the end, I think thus it will cost us in the end less. The question is to you.
No. Is that far?
Would them send from the city engineer would want to answer that question?
Your worship, through you, when will this council understand that we have to put a maintenance program in place to deal with these drains instead of every year during the hurricane season, we are running around like foolish virgins without a clue as to where to get funds to address these problems. I think in the end it will cost us less.
Yes, there's a plan in place to so we'll get back to you in the future.
Can the chief administrator outline the plan, please?
Worship. We have made some written requests to the local government, of which I'm still anticipating some favorable response.
Through your worship, my question goes to the NSWMA. If I keep my garbage outside, won't the stench affect me and my family?
It depends on from what time, from when it was there. Because garbage, it takes a while before it decomposes or rots. And we normally do not take that long to come and collect. It just takes a little while, but would not take that long.
From the Brixton Division.
Repeat the question.
Thank you.
Repeat the question.
Where will there be a hospital in Portmore?
Alright, currently I will not be able to give you a definite time, but we are making plans as to when that plan will start. So we will be together.
Alright, there will be no more questions.
AOB.
Many problems abound in one form or another in the city. As there are many prospects for improvement, there are similarly as many prospects for development. I hope to permanently eliminate the problem of the inadequate garbage disposal system, as well as the problem of the road damages and vector infestations. I also hope to make Portmore a major tourist attraction as a means of gaining a greater income stream, which in turn will help the greater development of the city. I therefore aspire to address and eliminate problems that cause such discomfort to citizens of the city. Are there any other business that you would like to discuss? Council from Greater Portmore Division.
I beg for this meeting to be adjourned.
I beg to second.
This meeting is adjourned.
You can't use that one. You can't use that one.
Good evening. Now come to the end of our junior council meeting of 2008, and we have heard the voices of the younger generation, the next generation, their issues. We have seen that the young persons have seen the issues that our councillors have brought up in our general council. We have had agencies being represented and answering questions on these issues, as well as our members of staff, junior members of staff. And the mayor will now address you as to what has taken place here. And we'd like to thank all persons here who have participated in this meeting, and we can now applaud.
Council members, members of staff, it is indeed, I must say, this is my first junior council, and I'm very happy to produce, of course, the first female junior mayor. And some excellent councillors I hear coming from the council for Greater Portmore East that he wants to create jobs. I hear strident remarks coming from the Gregory Park Council. I hear Britain Council come with a long list of demands on your worship. And I sincerely hope that you were able to meet your council members' demands. But indeed, today has been a very successful day, and I'm sure the parents, teachers that are here, saw the performance of our young ones, should feel absolutely proud of them. And let us know, from the gallery, give them a rousing round of applause. I'm very happy to tell you guys, though, that by the time you get to the time that you can unseat me, your worship, I will be old enough to retire. So I won't have to worry about losing my pension. Thank you very much, and I'm sure there will be some certificates that will be handed out now. And may I say, your worship, that you did an excellent job. You can get out? Of course you can. All right, so I know you'll come back with some certificates, so don't go.
Good afternoon, councillors, officers, members of staff, and our guests in the gallery. I must say to the councillors today that I enjoy what you have done, and it also helps us as councillors to aware that you know exactly some of the problems that exist within the division. However, that I have observed that the chief administrative manager was barely testing councillors. Next time around, you must always prepare to test the folks who sit on this side. Because with the director of corporate services, that the person that have the money will always hold the money. And the chief administrative manager is also a part of that decision making along with the city engineer. So when you come next time around, make certain you question about the money and how the money is going to be spent. And the agency that is there, make certain that all the various agencies are present. And if they are not there, you need to point it out to the mayor and ask the mayor to make certain that these agencies turn up at the meeting to answer your questions. Because plenty of your questions that you pose or the presentation that you made, nobody is there to answer, such as Water Commission. And we can go on to the various agencies. And I must truly congratulate the councillor from Elsha Division. That's my pet subject. And the same way you come across is exactly the same way I come across. I remember I can't eat my rice and peas. in Greater Portmore because I live close. And I must tell you that I did not have a discussion with her. It's the first I met her a while ago. But teachers feel proud of your student, and we are going to look how we can improve the whole junior council next year. What I am proposing that at least 2 council meetings, the persons attend 2 of our meetings, that they can see how the councillors interact with the agencies and staff and the demands. And then from there, you can emulate the councillors and deal with it. I thank you.